Welcome to the Windows Computer and Technology channel. And one of the things that probably is the most asked question in Windows 10 almost, when will it be finished? So Windows 10 at 10 years tomorrow, July 29th. Incredible how time flies. It was the first time ever that Microsoft introduced a new notion to us. Windows as a service. Windows as a service. That was a hard one for people to understand. Windows was Windows. For a long time, you would get a Windows version. It would be completed, and you rarely had anything new in it. It was mostly what you got first version was what you got. And there were a few little tweaks here and there with service packs that were called. Windows XP had that. Windows 7 had that. Even older versions like Windows 98 and Windows 98 Second Edition. They were adding a few things, but in general, what you got was the Windows version finished and done, and you just used it. Windows 10 arrived, and people were like, okay, but why is this feature they mentioned not there? Why is this feature that I was waiting for not coming or there but incomplete? And this is where it mixed up a lot of people. The different users would, of course, Microsoft would give us, and that was probably one of the biggest mistakes, by the way. Microsoft was often giving us, oh, this is coming, this is coming, this is going to be new, this is going to be a fantastic new way of doing things, this is a new app, and some people got excited, but we would get a version of Windows 10, and they weren't there. And it's like, well, why aren't they there? Oh, they're coming in the next update, which were to be incredible to think, but 3 updates a year, they weren't able to even, they have a problem with even 1. Imagine 3. And it was not logical also that 3 updates a year would arrive when all of the operating systems around the world are updated once a year, basically. So then it came 2 a year, and then it just came to 1 a year because Microsoft did realize it was impossible to update all the time. And the other problem with the Windows as a service and the way they had done it is, yeah, but the enterprise don't want to have 15 updates a year. They just want to make sure it's stable, it works, and they don't want to have all of that extra crap. They don't want to have those updates to do all the time because it's complicated in a business and enterprise environment. And even users that were already scared of Windows Update, now you get Windows updates that have new versions that sometimes were buggy, sometimes were weird, and there are all these names that they gave, creators updates and all sorts of things. Like, we would be changing the way we use computers forever with Windows 10. But that is something that, did bring the question that I would get all the time, which is, when is Windows 10 going to be really finished? Well, it ain't. Windows 10 is a Windows as a service. It's something that updates all the time. And Windows 11, well, same thing. Windows 11 continues with the Windows as a service, which I think is a big mistake. And in Windows 11, they should have reverted back to here's Windows. But Windows 11, even worse than Windows 10, did feel really unfinished when it was released in the first version. So, Windows as a service has to be there to complete and add new features, change things around. And of course, there's always that discussion of, well, are these features really needed? Do we really want them? But we are still in Windows 11 at Windows as a service. Well, the next version of Windows will be continuing the Windows as a service? Probably. Probably. And, we talked about Windows 10 at 10 years with the 3 updates a year that they wanted to give us. You know, in Windows 11, it was almost that. They were these moments. You guys remember moments? Yeah, we forgot about these. Moments were things that would arrive with new features, these updates with new features, which kind of resembled having tons of updates all the time. And, well, they've kind of reverted back to, well, you know, let's relax on the new feature updates, even though we do have regular new features throughout the year, even if Microsoft kind of lies in telling us we got one new version every year. We actually have a new version with tons of new things throughout the year, so there's still tons of other updates bringing new features. So, yeah, we're still at Windows as a Service, and that was introduced in Windows 10. What do you guys think about Windows as a Service? It's good? It's bad? Would you prefer to have, just like Windows XP, Windows 7, a done version of Windows, and we'll see what's new in the next one? If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.